Welcome to the Metal Zone.
High fun radioactivity.
Popolo di Radio Action TV, serata internazionale. Sì, facciamo roba seria, ma non roba seria, roba proprio serissima stasera, perché parlo adesso in italiano, poi smetterò di farlo per parlare in inglese con il nostro RAAF che saluto. Welcome to the Metal Zone, RAAF. How is going?
Hello. Thank you for having me, man.
E allora, questa sera ci abbiamo per le mani roba che scotta, perché parleremo di due band, si chiamano ANOMIC e PAINDEMONIUM, ma ci sono delle chicche davvero interessanti. Io ho appena ascoltato questo singolo che mi ha mandato, che si chiama Conflation. Diciamo, sono rimasto un attimo così, scioccato, ho detto cosa sto sentendo, perché quello che stavo sentendo era qualcosa di veramente esplosivo e una voce in particolare mi è arrivata all'orecchio, ho detto, ah, ma io questa voce la ricordo, ne parliamo tra poco. Welcome to the Metal Zone again, Raf. We will start to talk English and it's a pleasure and an honor for me to have you here. And it's fun because you just wrote me on our account on Facebook already action, and here we are because that's the best thing. So, how is going? And I want to know about your projects because this evening we will talk about ANOMIC and PAINDEMONIUM. So we will start with ANOMIC, but I would like to start step by step. Who is RAAF? What are your musical influences and how we arrive in ANOMIC and PAINDEMONIUM?
First of all, I would like to say one thing, is that I am also very happy with the way we communicated together in the beginning, how we got to, talk to each other old school. I sent you a message, let's do this, let's do that. And it's just the way the metal scene should be, like support each other, man, support each other. Just, try your best to spread the word. That's number one. So I'm honored to be here as well. And just, it's a pleasure to know you and, know more people who are enthusiastic about this industry and about this music. So it's a pleasure. That's number one. Number two, who am I? I mean, I'm just nobody, just a person. I grew up in the Middle East. I grew up in Syria and Egypt and Saudi Arabia. I lived for a while when I was a kid.
Oh,
with my
nice.
dad, mom and dad, because my dad worked in Saudi Arabia, and I started music in Saudi Arabia, believe it or not. I discovered rock and metal in Saudi Arabia also.
Oh,
I started
nice.
out old school, the 80s and stuff like that, and then got heavier and heavier. We had MTV at the time in the 90s. They started to have like a satellite and stuff like that in Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia was the Dubai of the Middle East at the time. So they got satellites and stuff like that after the Gulf War. And we were lucky to have, we lived in a compound where we had the satellite. We started, MTV was there, so we would watch. We stumbled upon Headbangers Ball and all these, awesome,
Yes.
like top 20 rock songs and stuff like that. And we just listen, absorb all this music, and started playing when I was really young. I was a drummer originally. I'm a drummer. I played for 9 years or 10 years. I was in a band in Saudi Arabia as a drummer, then went to Egypt also as a drummer. And then I picked up the guitar and started learning and did a few bands in Syria, Egypt, and depends where I'm moving. But
Yes.
then it come to like when we're talking about the bands from today, Pandemonium basically started in 2007.
Mm.
I was in Egypt at the time, and the co-founder is Egyptian, so we started Pandemonium, and then we worked for 3 years, and we did an EP, and we had to disband because the Arab Spring broke, and I went to Syria, and he was still in Egypt, and we
Yes.
had to stop. And then after the war,
Ooh. Oh no. RAAF disappeared.
Oh,
Come
sorry, I
back.
don't know what
No, don't worry.
it went out. It said it's only on voice. All
Bye.
right. So yeah, after the war in 2014, at the end of 2014, I decided, it's not after the war, like in the middle of the war.
Yes.
Everyone was leaving and traveling, and my cousin was coming here also as a war refugee and stuff like that. So I decided to take the step myself, and I came 2015. By the time I settled down, got my gear again, finished with a whole camp and all the refugee stuff and my Dutch studies and uh, uh, you know putting the ground pieces for to become a Dutch citizen. Also, all
Yes,
the
of course.
integration exams. And anyway, in 2020, I became kind of like ready. I got my gear, I got my sound card, I got stuff to start, and I was starting to compose a couple of things. But then I joined the band. A friend of mine is in Germany, an Egyptian friend of mine. He was a singer for a thrash metal band from Germany called War Agenda.
Wow.
And their guitarist had the founder of the band had just left the band, and they wanted someone else. So he talked, like we were talking. He said, would you like, are you interested?"
Yes.
I told him, absolutely, I would be. Send me anything, and I will, So I auditioned for them, and they liked me, and I went into the band with the blessing of the founder. Also, he said, "You guys keep continuing," and so we did an album, released the album in 2022. Forgot now. Yeah, I think so. And it was the first album that I've recorded here when I, came to Holland
Wow.
with Warj.
Yeah, it's full of meanings for you. I could
Yeah,
bet.
indeed. I didn't compose in it. They had it done basically. They wanted the lead guitarist at the moment. They were done with the composing, and that's why actually Anomic started afterwards, because we finished the album and it was done, and I did the solos and stuff, and then they liked me and wanted me to contribute to the band. So I started to compose for the new album, and they liked my stuff, and we were on the same page. But then the process became a little bit slow for me. Like I
Mm.
was very the War Agenda, they played a lot of shows in their life. They were active since 2012 or something. They opened for
Yeah,
Sodom,
yeah,
and
I heard of them. Yeah.
yeah, for me, I was fresh here, and I was driven. I wanted to be fast with productivity and stuff like that, and they were more laid back, I guess. So at some point I told them, guys, I need to leave the band. I'm not able to continue, and I have a lot of songs I'm composing, and nothing's happening. So in 2023, I left them,
Okay.
and in the time, of course, we're recording Paindemonium too. We're working on Paindemonium, but I left the band, and then I started Anomic. I
Huh.
thought I have a lot of material with me, and I like to have some thrash death metal project on the side. Uh, and I started out with a small EP, like you saw, the one I sent you have.
Yes.
In I think September 2023, I started the band, and the first song came out in November 2023. I was very productive and quick, and again, I just wanted to get my stuff out there. I want to start being in a scene. I'm like, getting into my 40s, and I'm like, dude, it's time, like,
Yeah,
when the
it's
hell am I?
we are in the same boat.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, this is the time, This is if I don't do it now, it's gonna be too late. So
Yeah,
I had
of
to leave the
course.
guys, and I started the band Anomic, and here we are. So
Huh,
that's
yeah.
my story in brief, maybe not
Huh,
too
it's an
brief.
amazing story, and I really thank you for sharing this story with us because it's really
I
you
hope I
always
didn't bore you.
yeah, but you always choose music above everything else, so that makes you not a person. You are a brother in metal and so on.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
not only a person. You are a person with a
No,
lot of things to tell. That's amazing. Really, really.
I
Thanks for
would say
that.
that. Thank you for letting me say those
Thanks.
things.
Thanks for
I hope
that.
people are not bored by it.
No, but now my curiosity and my imagination moves towards because I want to know about we are talking about your first project, so Anomic and on Deaf Fears. So
Yep.
what means I probably understand better the title of this of these songs and maybe the meaning behind, but what means on Deaf Fears?
And the fears,
Where
like
are you bringing? What is about?
it's about us not listening to history
Mm,
and how not learning from. the people that told us good things. We just quote them. Like there's when Facebook started, there was a whole
Yes.
trend of people just sharing quotes. And I was
Yes,
one of
true.
those people. I would share quotes, like whatever, George Bernard Shaw or, Sartre or something. You just share those things. But we were young, but then in time, I'm thinking, do we really follow those quotes, or we just put them to look smart and, sound
Yes.
smart on Facebook and stuff like that? Do we actually uh, like listen to those words? Are we applying them in our lives? Even us as people, forget the governments. The governments are fucked up anyway. But us as people, do we
Yes.
do any of this? And then as you live, as you experience stuff, and you go from one culture to another, you discover that people are oblivious everywhere, including yourself, like including myself. Like, what was I thinking 5 years ago? Like, what kind of superficial stuff? So you begin to realize that those words that the wise men, they said, they are falling on deaf ears all the time. And not just the words, also history's events. We are
Yes,
in
absolutely true.
literally repeating ourselves. Like, it's crazy how we are not learning from stuff. Like, even animals, they begin to form different patterns when they adjust to a mistake. Like, they do something wrong, they don't get something right, they kind of find a way to adjust. Even their bodies adjust to it. Some of the animals, they become
Yes.
different colors, they can become different color, like they adjust to the circumstances. But I feel that people are not. They're really not. They're just digging deeper holes and deeper holes, and getting into more trouble and more, atrocious lifestyle, and the gap between the poor and rich, and just the world we live in. And it's like, you're watching like zombies, basically. Again, I use that
Yes.
in opacity as well, but it's really like this, like on deaf ears, and people didn't hear anything. They just quote those people. So that's where the idea came from, that we just quote people, but we're really not doing anything about it. We're not following those wise words that we are
Yeah,
posting.
just quotes. Just
Yeah.
words of wise people, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right, because I think the same. The history fears the paradox, so everything has to happen the same way it happens in the past. So we are never learning from history. That's
Indeed. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. It can be changed in many, many ways, but people are just hypnotized or something, or tired of trying. I don't know what it is. I'm unable to dissect the meaning or the motivation behind why are people, they have
yes,
submitted to this system completely, and this life in this way, the way we are. They just, they don't have any control or any power anymore. They just, that's the system. All right, let's make the best out of it, which is what we're doing here too. Like, we are part of the system. We're part of the matrix, basically,
yes.
and we are just dependent. It's in everything. It's in your food now. It's in your shoes. It's in everything you buy. It's in your shirts. Your shirts are probably made in some sweatshop in Indonesia or something.
Hmm.
Like, how is this? How is this okay? I don't get it. And we are living it, and yeah. So it makes me like angry. Really, this fucking pisses me
Yeah,
off.
but let's turn these bad emotions in music, in the true
Yeah.
form of music, and let's just translate in the universal words.
Yep. Instead of
Everything,
harming other people.
yes, everything we
Yep.
said till now, and let's hear our first song of the evening. So let's play On the Fierce Anomic here on the Metal Zone. Rimanete qui, non andate via. Mozillo, come fai finta di capire l'inglese? Stiamo parlando di cose bellissime, tra l'altro. E andiamo ad ascoltare la prima canzone. Non andate via, eh. Torniamo tra pochissimo che vi vedo. On Deaf Ears, ANOMIC here in the Metal Zone. Bentornati a tutti. Ciao Max, che violenza come piace a me. What a violence, said Luca. We just heard the first song, so be prepared because we have a lot of surprises this evening. Because you want to thank someone about this song. You just told me behind the scenes.
Yes, I want to thank Stefan Nordstrom, one of the founder of the Swedish doom death band Soliloquium. Amazing band. He's working on a new album now, and he's also the guitarist of the Swedish death metal band called Desolator. So, yeah. So Stefan, has become a friend of mine, and he's working. He worked with me on this one, and before this one, we did a Sepultura cover together, like a playthrough in COVID times.
Which one?
So we did
Which one?
Massive Moses. I'll send you the link if you want a video. We did a video.
Yes, I want.
Me and I organized it, and I talked to him.
I should show you something. Just wait. Look, he's here.
Oh yeah, kid. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Old Sepultura is untouchable, man. Until Chaos AD for me, it's untouchable. So I wanted to do one of the songs that touched me the most when I was younger. So I wanted to do Mass Hypnosis, and I approached him. He was in, and since then we became friends. And when I did Anomic, I told him, "Do you want to be a guest?" So I found out that he's like me. He's willing to be a guest in anything. Like, whatever you have, call me in. So I'm the same. Whatever you have, call me in. So I told him, come join Anomic, and he joined. And then I asked him to join Paindemonium as well. He's guesting on Paindemonium too in one song, doing backing vocals in one song. Yeah. So I might as well just let people know that. I mean, he's way more known than me. He's been in the Swedish scene for a long time. And Desolator is really a prestigious band. They were with Black Lion Records, I think.
So cool. Yes, Black Lion.
Yeah.
So cool.
Independent. But amazing bands. For those who don't know them, go check them out.
Check them out. So let's go from On Deaf Ears to the other song that is called Opacity. This one gives me another dimension, another vision. But who is having this vision? Who's talking about this song?
This song is talking about mostly not questioning old habits, old traditions. That's what it's about. I don't want to go into details how I was inspired by this. I was watching a lecture of something, but anyway, it was talking about people who don't question old traditions when they receive them from, they just feel that it's the comfort zone and that it's morally superior to other people just because it's tradition and some ancestors did them. And for me, not questioning everything in terms of any kinds, in terms of extremism in religion or in politics or in social, non-acceptance to other people who are not like you. We went through that too as metalheads in Syria, right? Because we looked very weird. We had long hair, piercings, and stuff like that. So culturally, we were ostracized. We were not really accepted. And everyone saw in us the common enemy. Like whatever the fuck they had fights about, they would unite against us. We were the common enemy. Christians, Muslims who are fighting against each other, or Muslims who are fighting against each other now, in that time they would be against us together. So we were like the Satanists. We are the completely out of the, like, this is not acceptable at all.
Yes.
So for me, it's like because your tradition tells you that the guy should have short hair. That's why he's a man. So it started from there, I think, from those ideas that traditions can become toxic if you don't question them and if they don't make sense anymore.
Yes.
So opacity, it creates vagueness and opacity. That's when you are living in a world that you don't belong in anymore.
Nice.
That's
nice. Could be a concept album, or am I wrong?
Everything could be a concept album, yeah.
Yes.
Any idea could be transformed,
yes. And Amon is happy. So,
absolutely.
That's so nice. So you told me that sadly there are no really live experience about, and I know you know it's a fresh band and so on. But I have two hard questions for you. I made these questions to anyone, so they already know. People, it's waiting this moment only in this format. So
Really? All right.
I'll make you the first one. It's nice. It's funny. So I'll put
Alright.
you in a scenery. You know, we are in a scenario.
Yeah.
You have to. I give you the possibility to make a live event for your next single, for your next album, for anything you want. You're making a live event. You have to choose, but you have to choose one stage. One stage where you already went to play, maybe, or a stage that you love because reminds you something really important. Which stage will you choose, for example, for Anomic or Pandemic? Just one.
One stage.
Haha. It's an hard
Interesting.
question.
It is, yeah. I'm gonna go with nostalgia on this one because when I was younger, I would watch a lot of live. We've never seen bands until we were pretty old, like not old, but 20 something, and that's when they came to Turkey, and that's when we watched the first band live. So, and I was 20 something years old. I didn't get to see bands when I was younger. Uh, but when I was watching all those live videos, because we had on CDs, you know, the old days, just put CDs and watch
Yes.
live. One of the, I mean, it's one of two, if I can say that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna say one of those two. One because of that live video is my favorite live video of all time. It's because of the band, not because of the venue, but because of that what that show meant to me when I was watching it when I was younger on CD. That would be just to be in that spot would make mean a lot to me. And I honestly don't even know what the venue is called, but the show is the World Domination Tour by Dark Tranquillity after the
Ooh,
Mind's Eye, and they played in Essen. There's a show for
Essen.
Dark Tranquillity in Essen, Germany. That stage, a small stage, and that's the first time that I've ever seen Dark Tranquillity, like knowing how they look like. And I was blown away by that. That's my favorite live video of all time. It's so old and the quality is not good. You can find it on YouTube, but that's my favorite live performance. So that one, the Essen one, or the other one that had a big meaning for me is when we watched a lot of bands like Death and Demo. They played Dynamo in Holland. So
Wow.
Dynamo Festival is a big one for me as a kid. Seeing Chuck the live and after he died, and you see that live, in Dynamo, the Dynamo Fest.
Yes.
That meant a lot to us as kids. Like that was iconic. It's even more iconic to us as kids than like Wacken or Hellfest or
Yes.
Graspop. Dynamo was more. I don't know what it was. It was because of probably Chuck. So I would choose that too. I know maybe you would think that I would go to more venues like in Utrecht and there's a lot of awesome venues, amazing venues. But again, I went with nostalgia on this one. What affected me the most when I was a kid. So it's either Essen or Dynamo.
Nice, nice, amazing. And you have to know that radiation brings luck to people. So sometimes
Sure.
your wishes can
You're
be
in a good
true.
you're in a good spot, like spiritually.
We'll never
It's true.
know. We'll never know. Maybe we'll talk about after an SN event. We'll never know.
Uh-huh. You never know. You never know. I'm aiming at
So
Dynamo.
so nice. First question. It went really good. Nice work. So
Right. Right.
Sakamurai put on the live chat all the links where you can find Paindemonium and Anomic. He made a big work already. Grande Saka, grandissimo. And so we have the second question. It's less difficult, but it's more raw. It's like we like it.
All right.
RAAF, anomic, but RAAF, it's an animal on stage or not? What happens to
Yeah.
you when you go on the stage? What is the transformation? Give me your points of view.
Remember this thing that I'm telling you about the Dark Tranquillity. Please, when we finish this interview,
Okay.
go watch that show and see how Mikael Stane, the singer of Dark Tranquillity, how his attitude is on stage. Now people know him differently. People see Mikhail, the singer of Dark Tranquility, smiling, and he's a very decent guy, and but in that show, he doesn't smile once. He is crying and weeping and jumping, and even at the end, he kicks the band and starts beating the band, and like he was an animal. And for me, that was like an inspiring attitude to be on stage. You have Pantera were big. You can see
Yeah.
Dime behind me. So the way Pantera were on stage, how insane and they improvise a lot on stage. They do
Yes,
even like unexpected stuff. The animal, like you said, attitude of them. And as a kid, when I was younger, when I was playing drums, believe it or not, although now I don't like him as much, but Lars from Metallica, how he would stand on the drums and talk to the people and scream, and I'm that guy. I have that approach. I'm not the calm one. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure you're an animal on the stage, and I would really like to see you live once in my life. We'll never know. We'll never know. We
Well,
don't
I'm
say
playing
nothing
actually
more.
in January. We have the first show in January with my third band, Pitchfork, and
You
we are
see?
playing in Amalord. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll check it. We'll check this out too. So nice work. You answered well
Thank you.
the both question of the metal zone. Nice work. And so it's time to turn up the volume because we are playing the second song of this evening. It's Opacity from Anomic. So we'll coming back soon. Don't go away. Vi guardo, eh?
Tireless to march into the maze, swamped in the errors of our ways, gluttonous for disarray. Truths we crave to ignore, we're monster behind closed doors, revelations gloat evermore. We self-deceive, wrestling with the oscillation, our suffering minds can't be derailed. Metallurgy, passed down through the ages, therefore opacity prevailed. The fiber of rationale was torn, when fallacies became the norms, fealty to blindness sword. Was criticized by the few, shuffling the old and the new, the lethal pill we chose. It's down and fall on the Bible. Zombies with sheep mentality, with a scent led to the slaughter. Brainwashed with merciless blight, heads down, run follow the Bible. Zombies with cheap mentality.
Anomic Opacity here with RAAF. Welcome back to the Metal Zone. So
Thank you.
let's keep going because we have a surprise for you. Haha. We have a big surprise for you.
Close to
You
Christmas, so it's
yes,
about time.
it's a month before Christmas, but we had our present here in the Metal Zone because that's the song that Raf sent me first time we talk about, and it's a song that made me shocked like that. What? What did I heard? Because I'm talking about Conflation, this time Paindemonium. So, Raf, let's talk about Paindemonium first. Let's do a quick refresh about Paindemonium to our listeners that are coming here in on Twitch. And what is about Conflation? Who is the Mr. X in this song? Who is the special guest of this song?
You want me to talk about Paindemonium, how it started, or go to the album immediately?
No. Just talk about how it started. We have time. Don't worry. We like to listen.
All right. Well, not to make it long, so we started in 2007. We started out, me and Salama, my friend and co-founder of the band. We started out as a Dissection cover band. We played for a year just Dissection, and I was a drummer actually in the band in the beginning. And then I switched to guitar, and then we started composing our own stuff. And we have the old EP, Demonipathy, which was out in 2010, and that was pure melodic black metal, basically. It was a Dissection, necrophobic, unanimated, Naglfar types of bands worship, but mostly Dissection. But then we were working on an album, actually, in 2010, before I had left, and we composed a couple of songs, and since that time, we wanted to include a little bit of death also, so we wanted to become a blackened death band. And then I had to leave, and we never continued. But we still had the files from those songs. So 10 years later, fast forward to 2020, and I am in Holland, and Salama was still in Egypt. We talked. I had a band in the meantime, and he had another band also in the meantime. So, and then we talked, like, 2020, dude, what do you think? You want to bring it back? We already have a Facebook page. What do you think? So we're like, sure. And let's compose something. And we started out with one song, which is actually called Somatic Obsessions, and we have a playthrough of it, just me and him, on our YouTube channel. So that's just the raw, just the drum machine, and me and him playing guitars. There's no bass, there's no vocals. We were just, announcing that we were back. And we did that song, and it's on the album, but the name changed now, and it's the last song on the album. So, yeah, we started out in 2020, and it took some time. The album was supposed to be out a year or two ago, and some, technical difficulties, and then Salama left the band, actually. Yeah, and then Salama had to leave the band. He got a family and stuff, so he couldn't keep up with the band, so he had to leave, and all the responsibilities that he had fell into our lap, me and the bassist. So it took double the time, and at some point we started to, put things together, and they started to crystallize. And I'm coming up with a story for the album. Like, I wanted to have a concept album, and this is a concept album. So I wanted to have a whole epic thing, like a movie type thing. And the way I approached composition, I wrote all the lyrics for the album. Musically, I wrote like more than Salama because he had to leave and I had to continue. But basically, it's me and him. The way we composed the music and the idea, the vision was, because I was studying filmmaking at the time. I was here in Holland and I was in university, so I was studying filmmaking.
So cool.
So when you study something like that, it becomes part of your daily life, seeing things as movies and scenes and stuff like that. So I decided, why not approach it? We are playing already Black and Death, but let's have Black and Death of all kinds of Black and Death. It could be symphonic, melodic, raw, melodic death, sweet Florida death, Cannibal Corpse death, any kind. And black, all of them, Emperor type, Demo type, Marduk type, Dark Funeral type, any black, any death, even Doom death, stuff that have a slower tempo like Autopsy or Bolt Thrower or something, any kind. It depends on the song and the scene. So I approached it the other way around. I approached it, what scenes do I want for this story? What am I going to choose? Yes. So I chose the scenes. I'm going to focus on this, on the first song, on this event, and then the second song on this event. So each song, I compose the music based on what you see in the scene. So one of them is more towards death, one of them is more towards black, one of them is more towards doom death, melodic death. You can see characters are different completely from the songs, and you can see them in the two singles from Conflation and Despot. They sound completely different. They're not the same.
Yes,
It's
of
almost like a
course.
different. So to come to your question, after a long explanation, Tim Ripper Owens is the guest on Conflation because he is.
Yeah, you heard well. Wait. Tim Ripper Owens.
Yes. This is part of the story where the character is having an internal conversation with his conscience. And we thought maybe if we have just to be experimental a little bit as a Black and Death band, to
Yeah.
have clean vocals on it, but not the usual clean like Demo when they have Vortex singing clean. His voice is amazing, but that's kind of the most that black metal bands do, like Borknagar, like Demo. They have that type of clean singing. So I thought, what if we put old school heavy metal singing in a Black and Death band? Maybe
Yes.
nobody did it. I don't know if anyone did it, but it was an interesting idea to have the conscience singing clean. So the clean conscience, like this is the conscience that is trying to tell the character not to do something bad.
Yeah.
So I would be the character that is growling and screaming evil.
So two characters in this song, you and Tim. Tim,
Yes,
ricordo, lo
we
dico
are.
in italiano, è stato cantante di Judas Priest, giusto per aprire e chiudere la parentesi. Sorry.
He's ex Judas Priest, ex Iced Earth, ex Yngwie Malmsteen. Those are his
Giusto per dire, just to say.
credits. Yeah, give credit. Yes, copyright issues. So yeah.
So
we
two
contacted
characters,
him.
these actors that are talking in a different metal genre in this way. It's amazing.
exactly.
It's amazing in the sense of this.
That's exactly. I'm singing more death, like Cannibal Corpse. I'm even channeling a little bit of George Fisher on this one, or Monstrosity. This voice, the attack voice of George Fisher, and he's singing the Painkiller type singing, the high pitch falsetto that
Yeah.
you hear Rob Halford singing on Painkiller. So that's his approach. He's screaming with the clean vocals as a conscience that is afraid of what the character is gonna do. So the conscience is telling him not to do it. So he's screaming at him in a clean vocals, and the character is telling him, no, I want to do that. And they have this argument throughout the whole song. And
So
I'm not
nice.
gonna say who wins.
No, we will hear who wins. Who will
Has to be
win?
the story.
Yeah, we will check this out now because you have to turn up the volume. It's coming Conflation by Pandemonium. Torniamo tra poco, godetevela.
At last.
Your mind is not shared, no. There's also world to bleed.
Conflation, Paindemonium, welcome back to the Metal Zone. Bella Lello, ciao zio Lello, grande. Forza, fate bordello per zio Lello soprattutto, ma fate bordello per RAAF. We are back for the last break of the Metal Zone, dear RAAF. I'm kinda sad of that, because I really enjoyed this interview, it was amazing.
It was really comfortable, and you are such a great host.
Thank you
You're
so
such
much. And
comfortable host.
I look forward to the next one, but we have to talk about the last song of the evening. So we have to talk about All Hail the Despot. So in the concept album, where we are going, what's happening, who is the despot? It's not a common
Alright.
despot. I had the feelings it was not a common stuff. What is about this song?
It's, I mean, it has to do with the common stuff, but in a more, I think, I don't know, it gives maybe the occultist vibe to it. The way the lyrics also are phrased and all these things, it gives a little bit of occult feel to it. But it is a little bit, I mean, the album is like an exploration about humanity, how humans since their inception and until now, I mean, until, since there was human, and what the legend says about the first two brothers, who one of them killed the other one for material gain, right?
Yeah.
Like Abel and Cain. So that's the first type of killing, and how it evolved from one person killing another one to tribes killing other tribes. And this character, the Latent, which is the album title, is Latent. The Latent is the character. He's sitting down in the shadows, just watching, observing what people are doing. And you will not know who this character is throughout the album, except for one song in the middle of it. He explains a little bit who he is, but if you don't catch it, you continue, you don't know you might not know who the character is. You need, like, it's again,
Nice.
it's a kind of philosophical story about humanity. So this character is watching and observing what's going on, how this atrocity level of humanity is developing and increasing and expanding and becoming more sophisticated even. So Despot is the part of the story where at some point there was like tribes fighting against each other and all these things in history,
Okay.
right? But at some point there was one guy who decided, I want to rule my tribe. I want to be the king of my own tribe. And I'm going to make people do things for me in the name of the tribe and in my name and in the name of this palace and the name of our, community.
Yes.
So I will somehow, like, it became more sophisticated now. The brainwashing into pushing people to do things for the interest of the few has become deep and become really more sophisticated.
Yes.
So in this song, that's in my view and the way I try to put it, that it's the first one that wanted to become king and become ruler of an entire nation. And as you see at the end of the song, I say the king turned God, because the song after Despot is when they actually took it to the next level, all these big rulers, and they convinced people that they are gods. They're not just
Humans. Yes.
You see that in the Egyptian philosophy, and many in the Greek philosophy. Like a lot of them became gods. They became worshipped, right?
Yes, of course.
So, and even
History
when
is
they were
full of
alive,
that. History is full of
yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah, I wanted to portray like that's the song after Despot, but I'm giving like a cascading, trying to connect every song to the other at the end. So, but that's the story. It's the part where someone from the human race decided to rule over a whole nation, but in the old days basically, and the characters watching how they're doing it and how they are doing a ceremonial thing for him and everything. Even the stars are aligning, like how they used to in ways brainwash people with their knowledge of the stars and knowledge of all these universal, like the sun is gonna set, and people believe like, oh, he knows, he must be like not like
Yes.
us. So they use that strategy to enslave people. So that's the despot. Everyone is hailing them. So that's the scene of that story, the ceremony of the king becoming king and
So
turning into a god
nice.
eventually.
So nice. So nice. Amazing. So, Raf, I don't have any other words. So, I will give you the keys of the Metal Zone. So, you will not know our listeners how to search Anomic, Paindemonium, how to talk with you, anything you want, anyone you want to thank. It's yours. The Metal Zone now is yours. It's all yours.
Thank you, man. I appreciate this. I appreciate the time and the space that you're giving me and giving all the underground scene and this amazing job. Keep it up. All right. Well, for Anomic, you can find on Instagram it's Anomic Official Music, and Facebook is facebook.com / Anomic Official Music. We have our Bandcamp. What was our Bandcamp from Anomic? 1 second. We have anomicband.bandcamp.com. So you have this for Anomic, and then you have for Paindemonium Instagram, you have paindemonium.band, and for Facebook you have, that's the only one that is different. I don't know why we did it this way. It was facebook.com / Paindemonium Band, and our Bandcamp is paindemonium.bandcamp.com. We have, if you want to contact, we have merch, we have t-shirts at the moment. If anyone wants something, we still have in stock. We have on Facebook our like a big post about this. And if you wanted, just contact the band directly through Facebook. We didn't put it on Bandcamp because they needed a lot of bureaucracy stuff, and we didn't have the time. So if you want to do it, we are almost sold out. Actually, we did 50 t-shirts, and then we did 20 more. Now we have, I think, I don't know, if 10 or 15 left. If you want, you can contact me also on my email. It's rebel.mind133@gmail.com. That's my personal one. So if anyone wants to talk or anything, Instagram also, I'm on Instagram, Rebel RAAF. That's it.
Okay, Raf.
Thank you, part. I would like to thank.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Odelia for working with me and being there for me a lot, and taking a lot of hits on her, on her persistence, and she's taking it and continuing, always supporting and being there. And thank you to all the amazing musicians that I worked with, and the people that continued, like especially with Anomic, started from scratch, and they supported me and stayed with us from the beginning. The guests that played with me, my bandmates, of course, Yazan, Fadi, Christoph, the drummer, for playing on both albums. He's the drummer from Anomic and Paindemonium. And Christoph Klingbane, if people probably know him, he's the drummer who plays live with bands such as Vader and Belfagor and Hate. He is a big name in the metal scene, the Polish metal scene. He's the guest session drummer on both albums. Again, I'd like to thank my friends and everybody who, on Facebook, they know who they are.
And I have to thank you, Raf, for
all the media outlets that really helped push this. And I would like to thank Carla and Natasha and Carlo from Wormhole Death. Those guys also, you know, they put their faith in us from one EP only. Like we did the 3 songs, and they signed the band, and they are signing us for the next album also in 2025 for Anomic, which is coming soon. So thank you to this crew also, because they, you know, are working on promoting our stuff and always getting us, you know, reviews and interviews. Really cool. So everyone who stood with us, basically.
So nice, RAAF. I was saying I want to thank you for all the time you gave us this evening, from
it's
the
a pleasure,
music you wanted to share, and all your stories you wanted to share with us. I'm really honored, and I really enjoyed this interview. So I'm really happy.
Same.
I look forward. I told you I look forward to talk about you after your next live events. I bet on
We will.
that.
We will. Soon.
I bet on that. So, thank you again. Grazie a tutti voi,
Thank you,
popolo
bro.
radioattivo, che ci avete seguiti anche questa sera, anche in inglese. Thank you to the international community of Metal Zone. This evening we are bigger and we covered Holland too. So, thank you all. Grazie a tutti quelli che collaborano con me, Gabri, Max, tutti quelli che rendono la Metal Zone questo posto meraviglioso che conoscete un po' tutti ormai. So, I give you the last song of this evening. I hug you tight, RAAF, and I'll make play All Hail the Despot from Paindemonium, and I hope to see you soon. You are on the Discord, so you can write to us anytime you want. We are always here, so anytime you want, you know, we are a big family here.
Oh, nice. I can just jump in and come into the chat.
Yes, anytime you want.
Never use Discord, so I don't know how it works, to be honest.
Oh, Discord is
Don't-
nice. Discord or Twitch, as you can see. Thank you to
Right.
anyone. Rimanete per il ride. Nel caso, vi lascio all'ultima canzone. Grazie mille. Ci sentiamo mercoledì prossimo con Principi di Metallurgia con Max Eldorado. Non mi sono dimenticato. E ci sarà per 2 settimane di fila Principi di Metallurgia. Quindi seguiteci. Tier list, lo fai tu il raidino. Io faccio partire la canzone. Grazie a tutti. Un bacione da Amon. Bye everyone. All Hail the Despot. Paindemonium.
The stars align to caress a new eon. The light shall witness the birth of the bloodline, with the moonlight guidance to bless and coronate the ceremonial cosmic
Welcome to the Metal Zone.